Going over to the cultural product podcast, you have Jaguar sales crashing about 9% after the futile attempt at the rebrand. Now, this comes after they went viral for being woke with the weird androgynous, who knows what gender the person is type of commercial that actually didn't highlight the product. And when they eventually didn't reveal the product, it looked like a bastardized Lennox air conditioner spray painted pink. Don't get me wrong, great Texas-based company, Lennox air conditioners are phenomenal. However, I don't want my car to look like it. And already controversial enough, they're going for the EV route, which, again, kind of an antithesis of what Jaguar stood for. But nevertheless, they decided to go a new company direction and capture prospective new clients, mostly in San Francisco. Now, that very similar to the Bud Light instance, kind of backfiring, especially for short term. Now, this comes just from EnginePetrol.com. Specifically, Ian Sawyer, who's a writer over there, saying, quote, Jaguar woke rebrand posed a significant risk and led to a decline in used car sales. Now here you can see, oh gosh, I'm sorry, my eyes, it burned. It's, the new design is so viscerally disgusting. I almost threw up in my mouth. It almost reminded me of the Indiana Jones scene where they look at the Ark of the Covenant and the face melts. I almost had that same reaction. Now, not only is the EV concept car an abomination, but the logo is so rude. It's so stupid because the number one rule of logo is, do you know what it is? Can you identify the brand? That's why it might be rudimentary, but my tech company, Topic Technologies, it just spells it out and has a fancy T. It spells it out literally, you know what we do. With this, it's very similar to the Hewlett-Packard logo, which is so stupid. Instead of, saying Hewlett-Packard or looking like an HMP, well, for their performance laptops, they basically have 4 dashes, and if you squint, and you have to know what it is to identify that as a Hewlett-Packard laptop. And they did the same thing here. They have 2 J's, and it's a new font for the J, so it doesn't really reminisce back to the original Jaguar logo. And one J is oriented properly and the other is upside down. And it almost looks like the yin-yang symbol bastardized to look like 2 J's for a Jaguar. And they also have the androgynous people sitting there in the middle, and it says copy nothing, which it looks like a rudimentary copy of every San Francisco commercial we've seen in the past 20 years, as well as ripping off Apple when they had their, at the time, revolutionary commercial where someone threw a sledgehammer at the Big Brother talking screen, reminiscent of the novel by George Orwell, 1984. That actually was thinking differently. This is just a cheap rudimentary copy with graphics akin to Atari 2600, which at the time, brilliant, ingenious. Now, rudimentary to say the least. Now, they say, quote, Jaguar sales have declined after about 9% following the British's rebrand controversial last month, according to new data, which, again, as a refresher, Jaguar is performing so poorly, I want to say they're operated as efficiently as the U.S. government. Ha, political pun. They're so bad, they're not making any new cars this year. They took the year off, which, you don't do that if you're a successful company. The cars are collecting that much dust on dealer lots because there's so little demand. You have heard companies retooling, because again, they're making new cars. It makes sense for some of their factories to retool, but you usually don't hear of, all the factories are going to take a little vacation. Yeah, you don't do that, but they did. Now, they say, quote, November, Jaguar revealed its Copy Nothing rebrand featuring vibrant aesthetics and bold fashion, marking a new era for its transition to all EV. The rebrand sparked wide criticism because accusing the company of banning its heritage, while others expressed frustration at the lack of an actual car reveal, which it came much later and, again, looks ridiculous. And they're calling it the Type 00, which a lot of people joke that's about how many they'll sell. Now, they say, quote, data from Market Check UK revealed that in 7 days following rebrand's launch on November 19, only 133 used Jaguars were sold on average daily, a drop from 146 before, representing an 8.9% decrease. Alistair Campbell of Marketell UK told them, quote, Jaguar took a significant risk in relaunching its brand. Hasn't paid off. Which, if you want to hurt your eyes even more, here's the rear side of the vehicle. And again, these are concept cars. They're meant to inspire the new generation. They're not actually going to sell this one. Like, more often than not, most concept cars, it looks really cool. The real version is bastardized because of government regulations and add all that stuff to it. So usually they're a disappointment. Perhaps the only exception being the Porsche Carrera GT, which beautiful V10 with a stick shift actually had more horsepower and more torque production versus concept, which those are the good old days before you had the EPA destroying everything. Now, they continue saying, quote, time will tell, but the initial figures are far from promising. There's been no growth, and immediate response from used car buyers is notably negative, as a PR strategy has undividedly drawn significant attention to the interest of the brand. However, not so much coinciding with sales. And here you can see the funny, I forget, someone compared this to a TV show, but here you can see the mostly gender androgynous actors and actresses in the weird commercial they put out, which, yeah, the fashion is even worse. One of them, I don't know if this is a real thing. There's some nerdy TV show someone did a parody of where they basically has the same hairstyle. We have the afro, but you have a 90-degree chunk taken out. Almost like it was loading like a screen from the 1990s to dial-up internet. Now, they can see in the screen saying, quote, during the Miami Art Week, Jaguar announced the plan for a new reveal of Type 00 at the end of 2025. Projected prices between 100,000 and 150,000 pounds, or whatever it is in US fiat money, with ranges of 479-mile range. He charged 200 miles in 20 minutes or whatever. Which, yeah, they say at the event, is this the genius of the year, the CEO who signed off this crap? I'm surprised he has a suit on at all, not just some type of rainbow-colored T-shirt. They said at the launch event, Adrian Mardell, the CEO of Jaguar Land Rover, said, "Our journey has already begun. Driven by our founding principles to copy nothing, the results will be truly spectacular." I thought he was doing stand-up there, because, yeah, no. I mean, if you look at the Jaguar history, they're known for being, handcrafted works of art, especially the Type E, way back in the day, the 1960s. And they certainly weren't known for reliability. They never were. And they used to make some fun sports cars, but yeah, copy nothing. I mean, some people say if you drink and you're inebriated, they almost look like an Aston Martin, but bastardized for a couple. Was it the F-Type? There are a couple. But yeah, he said they wanted to have the, quote, oh geez, exuberant modernism. That's their new tagline, which, I mean, like most modern art, it does look like crap. So I guess they're on point with that. But yeah, short term, they shot themselves in the foot when their sales are going down. Now, we'll see. Maybe they'll be like Bud Light and they'll, transition back to the original, pun moderately intended, and they'll make, gas engines and, fun sports cars. I don't think so, since the parent company kind of wants them to go all EV. I don't think they're going to backtrack or backpedal in this regard. And there is a market for people who want luxury EVs that are, modern-esque. I don't know if that's big enough to sustain a business model, yet alone a whole brand, as they want to go 100% EV, and this marketing campaign is alienating a lot of prospective clients. Yeah, it's gaining a couple, mostly in San Francisco, but let me know, do you think this is a sustainable business model? Do you think culturally this will grow on people and eventually they'll learn to love it? Or do you think, no, it's going to backfire, no one's going to buy the new Jaguars in 2025? Let me know your thoughts, because as always, it'd be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.